This is John Zaninovich. Welcome to Move My Mass. You'll be hearing from great guests talk about balancing life and being fit. Hey, Brian, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, had to have you on once I heard you were doing the Rock Cobbler. I was having lunch with Sam Ames one day, and he showed me a text. He goes, "Look, man, Brian Kirschman's going to do the Rock Cobbler." And, I knew you worked out. I knew you rode, do different things, but I had no clue that you were ready to do something like the Rock Cobbler. So tell me about it. What made you think about doing it? How'd you train for it?
So the Rock Cobbler, well, one, I get harassed by all my biking friends at this famous race in Bakersfield that I haven't done. So of course I'm like, well, do the Rock Cobbler with you. So I had a big crew of, a few boys from Truckee come down, a few guys from San Francisco come down, and we just kind of all did it together.
Okay, and you signed up for the full, right? The full cobbler.
I did. I actually signed up for both.
Okay, because
I didn't know where I was going to be physically. I'm going to tell you, doing a bike race in February is so much tougher than like September. Because usually wintertime, I'm not biking as much as I am in the summertime. So the summertime, like, I'm biking as soon as the snow melts. I'm biking as much as I can and trail running. So my body's in a much different state when you're doing races in August, September versus doing one in February, like the first of the year. It's like, how do I train for this? Where do I go get vertical?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we all tend to slow down.
Yeah, well, we just change sports,
and then or change sports, and it doesn't always translate over to a big event like the Rock Cobbler. No, it's not. It doesn't always transfer over that kind of fitness.
So what can I tell you about the Rock Cobbler? It was vicious. I mean,
start from the beginning.
It did not help that it was like 90 degrees out.
No joke.
I
know.
I mean, it should have been foggy and cold, and it would have been a whole different race.
The one day out of the month, it's that warm.
It was, the heat just killed us, and it's just like everybody's cramping up. I mean, I got to I think it was like whatever the station was, 35. I mean, right at the Nichols Ranch, and I was like, holy crap, my legs are cramped up.
Yeah.
I was like, either I stop moving right now and my legs seize up, or I just keep going and just deal with it later.
Yeah.
But it destroyed me. So the highlight of the Rock Cobbler, which is made viral, is the dang bull.
that was amazing.
Mile 14, I come around the corner and I'm leading in this pack, and I come around the corner and I was like, whoa! And everybody steps, why are you stopping? I was like, go right ahead. And they come around like, whoa, I ain't going there. So this thing was vicious, and it was big. Like,
it was a big bull.
I mean, growing up Bakersfield, we've seen bulls, but this guy was of a different caliber. He was a monster. He was, El Matador or whatever. He was like pissed because we were on his trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even been on these trails that Sam picked out. These are amazing trails. It's beautiful with wildflowers and everything. I was like really blown away with the trails he chose.
Right. That's so cool.
But the bull was like, and then the videos of, because it's so funny. We were all together in this group. I was like, okay, let's all try to pass him as a mass. We'll all be like one big, be bigger than him.
Yeah.
Of course, we start pedaling as a mass towards him to try, because we're in a deep ravine. So it's hard for us to, you couldn't ride up on the walls or anything.
Right.
Had to get around this guy.
Yeah.
So we start pedaling him as a mass to go past him, and he charges us, and it's like, whew, everyone just spreads like, well, that's not going to work. And then from there, we're just like, okay, we're just going to keep our distance until we get a moment. And there was a moment where he was turned over here messing with some other bikers. So I went up on the sidewall and passed.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away by that. And then, of course, when you finish the race, you realize that some people weren't so lucky.
I know. I could not believe it because of course, I didn't ride in it, but I always helped cook. And the stories were coming in that this was happening. In my head, I'm like, all right, some bull is out in the pasture.
We see cows all the time.
Maybe running by the riders. You think the story's exaggerated.
No.
And then more stories kept coming in. No, an actual rider got hit. I'm still thinking.
4 of them got hit.
I know. And I just couldn't believe it.
It was mind blowing. It actually stole the spotlight of the race.
Yes.
Because you were like, I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe we just encountered that. And it's only on mile 14 of the race. Like, we're like just getting started.
Yeah. And you know what, that race, we're going to get more into about the training and all that, but he has had courses where you ride through somebody's house.
Oh yeah, that's what's made it famous. Now the bowls in him. I mean, watch, he'll sell out next year's Rock Cobbler in like 1 hour.
Well, that's what I said, because he was so worried about it. I'm like, no, this is the best thing that, especially since nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
So that's the biggest key.
Yeah.
But the fact that nobody got hurt and that really happened, it like really happened, not made up story.
On video.
Like, you know how many riders are going to want to come experience? They know they're not a bull.
Experience the bull, but
they want to experience. What do you have next?
Yeah, what's the next shenanigan that you got coming on?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, hands down, I've never done the Rock Cobbler, never done one of these races. I've done gravel races, but this one was really unique, and Sam he did a great job. So
he worked so hard at putting on.
And I had no idea that there's so many influences from Bakersfield people helping out between you and other people. I ran into everybody, like on all the aid stations, like, Brian, you're doing this? Like, oh, you're cooking hay.
I know. Yeah.
It was bizarre to see how many people were of the community helping out, which was awesome.
Right.
Made me more excited, and I was like, okay.
It does help a lot.
Yeah.
You know, the more it's grown and the more spectators are out there, especially people you know, it does help you to, okay, I can keep going. And
he's getting a good turnout. I mean,
it's great turnout.
Yeah. So Brennan, the guy, so I get all my bikes from San Francisco from above category. So Chad's one of my good friends. He's the one who got me into biking. And his rider was Brennan, who sponsored and like just won, like, I don't know, all these gravel races and won the Florida one. He came to do this one. So that's why there's 4 of us representing above category with Brennan. He came in 3rd or 4th. I saw. He says it's just down to a sprint at the end. He crushed it. Unbelievable how fast he went. But he says it's him and that mountain biker. I forget what his name was, the professional mountain biker in there. But Sam's getting some people coming in, which is kind of cool.
They are. Yeah. He's getting some big names to come to it.
Because it's, I don't know if it's like a circuit race. I don't know anything about the racing community or what it is, you know, but I do know that it's becoming more popular just to say that you won it or you've been in it or you've done it. Yes. It does. I don't know if it puts notches on your degrees of.
It totally does.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't follow all that.
There's credibility to if you've done the cobbler.
I know that
it builds you up.
I know the worst part about it is we get to Ethel's and I'm like, and I stop and the big party's going on. It's like, there's water in there, isn't there? You're gonna make me walk through water, aren't you? I don't want to walk through water again.
I know. Yeah.
But I did it.
It is. So what was your training going into it, and what would you do different since you've done it?
Well, first of all, I didn't expect to go that slow. I was like, I thought I could at least keep a 14-mile, pace, but it just was brutal. It was the heat. I don't think you could train for the heat. If it was going to be that, right. You know what I mean? The vertical didn't bother me as much. It was the heat that bothered me. And had I known it to be that hot, I would have started like 6 a.m. No, just give me a 2-hour head start because we were peaking. And the heat, everyone was cramping up. So I think it's the heat that caused everyone's problems for that day. Yeah,
that was the biggest key. Everybody that was coming in, that's what they were talking about.
And everybody was cramping. Even the professionals, everyone I was talking to, just like they cramped up because it's just too much. And
You've had no prep for it.
Some of the vert we were doing there, Sam, it's a little aggressive.
A little bit?
A little aggressive. It's like, really? I can't even ride my bike up this. You really...
Oh, yeah. Well, he's always got the hike-a-bike.
The hike-a-bike's fine, like on the Hart Park, because we always walk those hills or play in those hills. Yeah. That's where we always train, because it's the only hills we can find to train in around here.
So true. Yeah.
But there were some sections on just the route itself that were just so steep and sandy.
Yeah. And it's a soft trail that always does it for me.
Yeah.
Say, okay, I can climb this, but I just...
Yeah.
Yeah, when you start getting soft...
And I saw that a lot of people are doing it on mountain bikes, and hands down, that's aggressive.
That is a long way to go on a mountain bike.
That's a long way to go on a mountain bike. My limit's maybe 40 miles. I would not do 80 miles on a mountain bike.
No way. No. Not even close.
Just doesn't move as fast because you got a couple sections of the race that were really nice, which was the pavement. And if I had a mountain bike on the pavement, I'm like, really?
Yeah. So and at the top it was pretty windy, I heard. Not because the heat was so bad, and the bull, not a lot of people were talking about the wind. And from what I hear,
so the top was very windy. So to be honest with you, I got up to mile 45, And I just turned around and did the peddler at that point. I said, I just said, screw it. I was like literally 3 miles from the top. And I just said, I just can't do it right now.
Just jumped on the peddler course and finished it out there.
I just rode down another 5 miles and jumped on the peddler course. And I said, I'll just finish this thing out, just because at that point I was like, it's brutal. I'm averaging 10 miles per hour. This is just insane. It's going to take me forever to finish this thing.
Okay. Yeah. And you start adding up the time and the heat,
I'm just like,
I'm just like,
at this point, what am I really doing? So there'll be a redemption.
So you're doing it next year.
Of course we're doing it next year.
That's what, I don't care who comes across the line. Well, there were a couple people that said, you might be asking me a little early. Yeah. It might be too early for that question, but they're going to.
I mean, it's one of the better races that I've, I do races just for fun, not I'm not like competitive. I just want to complete them and stuff, but it is one of the better races that I've competed in. I really like.
Love that. Yeah. So what is a normal year? Like you do some gravel races and then
usually gravel riding doesn't start until the snow melts. So right now it's winter time. So we're skate skiing and climbing mountains and skiing right now. So I'm not really doing much biking this time of the year, maybe once or twice a week if I can, just around Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And I don't start really biking heavily until about May. And then it's like, then I'm biking 4 or 5 days a week.
Right.
And trail running in the morning and stuff. So
yeah. And of course it gets extremely hot here during the summer. When do you do your riding? You're a morning guy or you do it out in the heat?
5 in the morning.
Yeah, before
the sun. We are not afternoons. I can't do. Everything's early here.
Yeah,
in the morning. Yeah.
I was telling that morning of the race, we were talking about how hot it was going to get.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's going to be 86, 87. I don't know what it actually got to.
I think it got close to 88. It was whatever. It was high 80s,
and that is hot.
It wasn't that hot, but for some reason that race,
we haven't been used to it.
I know.
Nobody is used to it. At that time of year.
And that's why I couldn't figure out why I was cramping up so bad. I was like, I never cramped this hard.
Because we had begged for an 88-degree day in August.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only going to be 88 for a high? And you wouldn't care what time of day you were riding. You'd be happy and go crush it.
Yeah, so I don't know. So what did I do for training for this? Not enough. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's always the case, I think.
But it's a February race. Like, where do you, unless you go train down to San Diego or at the beach or something.
Right. Yeah. So what shenanigans did you get through? What were,
I did all.
What did you have to do? I don't even know. I actually don't even know what he had on the course. I don't know what shenanigans were out there.
What did he do? The first thing, I think there was a tire toss, but then that was right. So that's Round Mountain Road. So I ride that road a lot.
Yeah.
Because that's the only good climb we can get around here.
Right. Without traffic.
Yeah. And it's great. And there's always cows on that road, but not bulls. It's distinguished between cows and bulls.
Way different story.
Yeah. So that felt like home, but it's really, I love the fact that he put us on private property, and there's some amazing trails out there that I don't know how we would ever get access to them, but
I know. Yeah.
It was so beautiful and so green. And that's one thing about February that was really unique.
It is perfect.
Yeah. So we did that shenanigan, and there was a tire toss. And after that, we went into a steep gully, which I've never even rode or even knew existed. So I got introduced to a few things in Bakersfield that I was excited to know about.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. So I was like, this is cool. And it's single track and it's rideable. Okay. And it pops you out on the Nichols Ranch. So that's the next question that we got figure out how to address. And then, so after that, we rode by these orange things, and I wasn't going to figure out what they were. And they said it was AstroTurf. And I asked the guys, like, well, I'm not that dumb. AstroTurf does not grow. It's synthetic. So what is these orange patties for that are covered in AstroTurf? So one day I'm going to have to figure this out, because I never knew they existed out there.
Oh, these were actually natural?
No. Or there's something going on there that I know a lot in agriculture.
Right.
But I do not know what these things were. And he says it's AstroTurf. And I'm thinking, you're not growing AstroTurf, but why do you have it out there? And they're orange. It's really bizarre. So I'm going to figure this out.
So did you ride over it?
No, you rode by it. It was really pretty, and I had no idea what it was.
Huh.
So one day I'm going to figure. I still have to Google that one.
Yeah, have to go.
So the other shenanigan. Let's see, what else did he do for shenanigan? There wasn't much. It's just a hike a bike. After that was, I think we did just more climbing. As soon as you went back down, you had to climb back up, went back down, climb back up. That's the only way you don't get 9,000 or 8,000 vertical feet in Bakersfield. Just keep going up and down.
Keep going up. If there's a hill somewhere, he'll find it and he's going to make you go up it.
Yeah. And I like a lot of the climbs are really nice. I mean, they were smooth until you got to the really steep ones. The hike-a-bike was a bit aggressive. I don't know where he's done it in the past, but I looked at that thing and I was like,
I've only ridden it twice.
I looked at it, I was like, are you kidding me?
I know. Yeah.
I was like, this, and it's super sandy. And I was like, oh my God, I was so mad. And then he puts a tent right on top. It's like, okay, at least he gave us something to aim for.
Yeah, my finishing point.
I was like, I'm almost to that tent.
And what mile was that, more or less?
That's mile 72.
So you're already smoked.
You're smoked. And then I'm thinking, I was like, okay, once I get the top of the bluffs of the Hart Park, we're done.
Yeah.
Nope. We go right down to the fire range and right back up again. Yeah. I was like, this has to be the last hill. Tell me this is the last hill.
One year I worked, he had the hike-a-bike, and then he had another that kind of turned into a hike-a-bike because it was so steep.
Yeah. Or you're so exhausted.
Some people could ride it, some couldn't.
Yeah.
But I could hear people approaching. Like, I don't know what it looked like this year, but some years it's kind of like a blind corner coming into the hike-a-bike. Okay. So you're just riding, you turn a corner and bam, there it is.
Yeah.
And you can literally hear people just cussing Sam out. And they get on it.
Well, we all know it was part of the course.
Yes.
It's par for his style of race, you can say, which is cool because it's part of riding bikes. It's not everything has to be fluid and
right. You can go sign up for one of those anywhere.
Yeah. Go ride road bikes if you want.
Because the year I did watch I've done so many different things, helped on the course, cook, whatever, done the course. One of my favorites to watch was he had guys up at the top throwing beach balls at people coming up the hill. So they had to dodge beach balls.
I've seen some of these older ones. I mean, I think they've gotten I think he toned it down this year a little bit, but the course was, I heard, the toughest.
That's what I heard. I heard the course was brutal.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. Like, I hit the Nichols Ranch. I don't know if they're going to be mad, but I was just picking oranges, peeling them, and I was taking a break and eating oranges while I was riding. It was like, it's break time right now.
Yeah.
And these are all in season. They're gorgeous. And the oranges were great. So
yeah. So you're going to approach the next year differently? Because you've
a little bit differently. It's just I still have to figure out how to find time. Hopefully it's not as hot,
right?
But I have to find time to ride a little bit more bikes in wintertime, which is tougher for me.
Yeah, it is. One thing, I mean, the heat does suck, but I dread if it ever rains like the day of hard or the day before, because a lot of that would be unrideable in slick mud.
Yeah. I mean, I
don't know which way I would.
I don't know. I see. I have the same problem you have. Is like I can't compare it to other courses of where he was. I know that if you're in the Hart Park, because we always go to that Hart Park Bluffs, one way or another, he ends up there.
Oh yeah,
always.
Yes.
That place gets really rutted out when it rains.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the only thing I would get nervous of.
That's what I'm always like, please don't rain.
Yeah.
Like, please rain about 10 days ahead of time, make hero dirt.
It was nice. There were some gorgeous spots of it and the flowers were out. I mean, you couldn't pick a better time.
I know. Isn't it gorgeous? What do you normally ride?
But normally we're not supposed to get flowers in February. I don't know. Usually it's March around here.
Yeah.
Early heat. Brought some early spring, so it was nice. What would I...
Do you normally ride road bike or gravel bike? Like
I do. I do all three. I do road, gravel, and mountain bike. So mountain bike is primarily, I spend a lot of time in Mammoth Lakes. So that's kind of my stomping grounds.
Right.
And that is a mountain biking mecca out there. My best friend from college got me into gravel biking. So he's, because he's out of the San Francisco. So we go to the headlands there in Marin, which is phenomenal biking area.
It looks beautiful. I've never ridden up there.
I mean, it's probably one of the best gravel biking spots in the world.
No kidding.
Huh. And then they got me signed up to head up to, I always go up to Sun Valley and do a couple gravel bike races because you can go for like 70 miles and it's just so gorgeous in the middle of nowhere. And you can just cover so much more terrain than on a mountain bike.
Right.
Mountain bike's more for technical, but the problem is my style of mountain biking, I love climbing mountains. So I'll just I'll just climb to the top of Mammoth Mountain when they don't allow you to do that until the park shuts down.
Okay.
Because they want you to ride the chairlifts, and it's all mostly people are doing it for downhill, but I want to go uphill.
Yeah. So you do a lot of climbing.
I like to climb.
So you're one of those wacky ones.
Yeah, I like to climb.
I climb because it's in the course.
Yeah.
That's why I climb.
I prefer to climb, and then the downhill's a reward.
Yeah, that is true. It is a reward. But
so road bike, I just do road biking around here because it's, our bike path is so gorgeous, and it's such a great mecca for it.
Aren't we lucky? We are lucky to have that.
We are very lucky to have it. And so
it goes so far now.
And the way you can head up the Round Mountain, there's some great road biking around Bakersfield that I really enjoy more. Where the gravel biking around here is a little bit more unique. I mean, I guess you got to go on private property to figure it out. I mean, I haven't been able to find as much gravel biking in Bakersfield, but
that is true. Yeah.
Sam did introduce me to some new trails. I don't know if I can go on them or not. That's a good question. I don't know what was private, what wasn't private.
Right. But being in ag, you probably know.
I know all the neighbors. I can ask some questions.
Right. Yeah, it is true. My gravel biking around here is I just go hit farm roads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Riding through almonds, pistachios,
the reason why
grapes.
I started why I was resistant to road biking, because I just don't like cars.
Yep.
Just be honest.
That's what got me into it.
Do not mix.
Yeah.
So I really had no interest in a road bike, but I do have interest in a road bike when it's on the bike path.
Mm-hmm. That's essentially my riding now.
Yeah.
Gravel bike most of the time.
A gravel bike is on roads that don't really have cars. So a sparse car here and there, so that's why I gravel bike. Mm-hmm. And mountain biking's no cars. So that's easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned snow skating?
Skiing.
Skate skiing?
Yes, that's my winter sport.
Yeah. How often are you doing that?
Every time in Mammoth, I love to.
You just go do it, huh?
So I'll go up and I got a little 10-mile loop. It's just like running on the snow. Yeah. So the problem is I like trail running.
Okay.
But when it snows in Mammoth, you can't really trail run. So I convert to skate skiing.
Go do that. Yeah. Yeah. How long does it take you to do 10 miles?
You're doing roughly 10 miles an hour.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So
you're moving.
You're moving. Yeah. Cause you're moving pretty good, 9 to 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. So you're running on the snow, and then of course, when you run up the hill, you get the downhill a lot faster. So.
Yeah. That, notice?
So Tamarack is where I go play in Mammoth. Uh-huh. Tamarack is a phenomenal skate skiing playground.
Yes, it is. Big time.
And it's not a sport that you see many people do, but I think it's starting to gain a little more popularity.
Yeah. I think people are looking for things to get away from other people.
Yeah.
Or traffic.
Yeah.
And that definitely does it. Do you notice crossover? Like, okay, you get in shape, skiing, time to start cycling. Do you notice, all right, I carried some fitness over. Does it transfer?
I do. So I don't like to do my world is I don't do one thing. I'm not a biker.
Right.
I'm not a runner.
Right.
I'm not a ski. I like to just I like to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of my world. So I like to, and I'm not going to be super good at one thing because I'd rather be average at a lot of things. Because I like the seasonal change. I love to change it up. I mean, I'll go probably 3-4 months without riding my gravel bike in the snow season.
Right.
Or riding a bike.
What you're out to do is you want to have fun.
Stay fit. And
you're not out to win a race or anything like that.
No.
That's
perfect. Why I like the race that Sam did, because it's more about the honor of completing it.
Yes.
Or doing it than it is anything else.
Yeah, you can go as fast as you want. Yep. You can race it if you want.
That's why I called Uncle and I said, this is killing me.
Tap out.
I was like, screw it. And there's 4 other guys with me. He's like, I'm going with you. I was like, what? I'm done.
Yeah.
Let's go do the peddler.
Right.
Because it's funny when you get to that peddler, coddler turnoff, you're like, oh, we're strong. Let's do it. And then you realize you got another 3,000 feet of climb. And it's like, okay, we get up it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there's another hill. And then at some point, it's not even about a major climb. Even the punchers get hard.
Oh yeah.
Where you're only climbing for a minute.
Well, that's what I think where the cramping came is so much up and down, and like you didn't want to get off the bike every time. So you just kept charging harder through some of those more difficult spots.
Yeah. And it just,
but it was hands down, he did a great job. I enjoyed every bit of it. Do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's normally done in February. If it is, I'm going to change my strategy a little bit. I thought last year it was done different because of COVID.
It was, because of COVID.
Yeah.
But it's normally
a February race. Yeah.
So because we were getting nervous, because then you start playing with some heat anytime you push it litter.
And seeing last year, a lot of races were even pushed off. Like I wanted to do the Mammoth Tough, but unfortunately the Forest Service shut that down because of the fires in Truck or Tahoe or something. So it became a little bit difficult for some. So the only race I did last year was the I think it's called the Rebecca's Private Idaho up in Sun Valley, and that was a fun one.
Mm-hmm. So for somebody that's never done it before, listening, they're thinking, I'm going to do this. What advice do you have?
Start with a peddler. Don't go so big out of the gate.
Yeah, right.
Peddler is still, that's a 55-mile day. That's still a big day.
It's a big day. 6,000 feet, I think.
And it's like 6,050,
like
whatever. It was a big day. And you hit every part of his race that has all this shenanigans and everything. You're getting the whole thing in a much more condensed, because I don't mind sitting on a bike seat for that long, but I can't sit on it for 12 hours.
Right.
Sorry.
At some point. And that's
sorry. I just got, it's not that comfortable.
It is a long day. And working the race and seeing those last finishers come in, they were out there.
We left there after I ate my food and got my legs back together. I said, I got to go home.
What time did you come in?
I think I forget. It was before 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I knew that because others started rolling in at 5, 6 o'clock. And it's like, I already got dinner ordered for you guys.
And you just, I felt.
So my advice for doing the peddler is, find
some elevation, right?
Get some elevation. It's one of the bigger elevations. Like, to do 9, it's tough. Like one of my favorite bike rides I love to talk about is like one day I just like, hey, I'm going to ride to the top of White Mountain, which is right outside of Bishop. Mm-hmm. And I guess you can or can't ride your bike to the top of that, but the ranger said I could. And I said, okay, then I'm going. Then I get up there and, because people usually hike this, is 14,200 feet.
Yeah.
And then it's from Bishop to the top of White Mountain is literally 14,000 feet of climbing.
Oh, that's a lot.
And it's on rock and shale and you're hiking a bike to the very top.
Right.
But when you get to the top, you're like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah. So worth it.
And then you go right back down to Bishop. And it's a long day.
Yeah.
But that was one of so I love climbing, but to find climbs with like 8,000 feet is insane. It's hard to do.
It is hard to do.
Usually it's a 35 or 4,000 foot day.
Yeah.
So even on my best mountain biking days, it's 35 to 4,000. I don't get the 6, 7, 8,000 feet.
Right.
It's tough to find those.
And it's just
the only way you're doing that is like going back down and right back up. It's like, no one wants to do that. It's like, I just did that. Why
That's mind. That starts to be real mind numbing.
Yeah. It's just at that point, you're just like, find something else to do.
Yeah. I'm not a pro. I'm not getting paid to do this.
No, I'm just having fun, but
yeah. Yeah. Well, hey man.
So that was, so what else can I tell you?
That's crazy to hear.
Yeah. So training for a February race is tough.
Yeah.
It's early.
It is early. And that's when, normally for me, that's when I start getting started.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
March, April,
get through the holidays. Let's start thinking about things.
Transitioning sports,
Yeah, totally. And to carry it
Yeah.
is, because when I do races for fun, normally they're in the late fall. Wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, it's to carry it all the way through.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I love biking, but I don't want to bike 12 months out of the year.
Right.
I want to do other sports.
Yeah.
But the one thing I did learn, because I did a half marathon in like November, is fuel is where it's like my body will I just run out of fuel sometimes. So I was really cautious on fueling up on this one and having like those, I was never a fan of the drinks, that you mix with all the calories in it, but I had to do it. And it helped a lot on this race.
Yeah.
I wasn't exhausted as I thought I was. My body was, but usually sometimes you get on some of these races and it's the mind just starts shutting down because you just don't have the fuel and the energy to do it.
Yep. And things just start getting tight. Even if you don't cramp, it's just that everything's hard.
Mm-hmm. So I that was one thing that made a difference in this race for me, is having the right, I don't know what you call it, fuel nutrition.
Yeah.
And that was key. And that really changed the game for me to keep going. Now, if I didn't cramp up, would have been a different situation.
Yeah. Salt is.
Trust me, I ate like 4 bags of potato chips at every station.
Right.
Like,
yeah. That is the key.
And that pickle juice is gross. I don't know why anybody think, I don't know. It didn't work for me. I was like, all this is making me want to puke. I'd rather just keep the cramps and drink that pickle juice.
Yeah.
Maybe some people like it.
I know. I've never had it, but yeah, but chips, that's key. And I just take salt capsules actually. They work fast.
Yeah. I haven't done the salt capsules.
On a day like that,
it's just, you can't get enough, you need enough salt. Yeah.
You were definitely going to need it.
So I was destroyed I just got my legs back. I'll say, yesterday was my first workout, Tuesday. So Sunday and Monday, I was pretty much hurting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not moving the way I usually move.
Yeah. What was your first workout?
I work out with this group of older gentlemen in a gym. So, and of course, they did legs day. They did legs on Tuesday. I was like, you guys suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we do a lot of resistant band training and stuff.
Nice friends.
Stuff, yes. I'm the type of guy that got to go to a gym and someone's got to tell me what to do. So then I turn into an hourly employee as like drag my feet between the different activities. Like, is it up over yet? Okay.
Yeah. How can we knock this down slower?
Because that's why I like my outdoor activity. That's why I enjoy riding bikes or going trail running, and because you're committed until it's done.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I love.
Where a gym is like, well, I can leave 5 minutes early. I can leave an hour early, or whatever it is. You don't have that commitment of like, well, I rode out here 30 miles. Damn it, I got to ride back 30 miles.
There's only one way to do it.
You're committed.
Yeah. That is, I know there was a training ride I went on with Sam about 6 months ago. We rode from here out to north of Rich Grove. Mm-hmm. And it was going to be an 8-hour day. And I was not ready for an 8-hour day on the bike.
Those are long days.
My rides up till then were 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
But we rode there.
Yeah, no way. You had to come back.
He kept asking, you want to turn around? You want to turn around? I'm like, no, I was feeling good. But 4 hours out, you're going to feel good.
It's 4 hours coming home.
And then you turn around and felt within 30 minutes at the 4.5 hour mark, my body was like, you're all done.
Yeah. And when your body shuts down, it now starts playing mind games with you, and
then I knew I had 3.5 hours.
And then your pace just drops, and you just go into like maintenance mode.
Yeah, and it doesn't drop by 0.5 mile an hour.
No, it drops like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah,
you go from like 18 to like 12.
Yes, immediately. and you're just holding on for dear life to finish. But hey, man, thank you so much for coming on.
It's fun.
And before we go, what's your workout tomorrow?
My workout tomorrow, I'm going bike riding tomorrow. It'll be first time back on the bike since Saturday.
Nice.
I'm ready to go back on the bike.
The butt's ready for it?
Yeah, well, the butt didn't get hurt. It's my legs.
Just crush.
Yeah, but I did skate ski yesterday, so after the workout. So
nice, excellent. Yeah. Well, man, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoyed hearing about the cobbler, man. What you're doing. I think everybody's gonna love it. Thank you.
The bowl is still the highlight. Nobody else is still the highlight except that bowl.